Okay, so yesterday in church, my pastor made a special call for some certain group of people to come out so that he can pray for them. There was a man seated right next to me. This man was not in the category of people because obviously he was already born again. But the man turned and said to me that, will pastor not call people whose businesses are not doing well? I just pretended not to hear what he was saying. Because we were in church, we were in service, right? But I kept wondering, this man is in church, his business has slowed down, business is not what it used to be. He's not making as much money as he used to make. And somehow he thinks that what he needs is for his pastor to pray for him. How many of you are like that? There was a time a pastor was telling his members that the reason their business was not moving is because of altars in their father's compound in the village. In fact, he said there was a tree in the middle of their father's compound in the village, and that is why this man's business is slowing down. And then he makes a particular statement that unless that tree is cut and particular prayers were made, the man's business will collapse. So the man needed to make arrangement to take the pastor with him to the village so they can pray and cut down that tree that is in the middle of their family compound before his business can pick up. When I remember this story, I feel very sad. I feel sad because this man sponsored the pastor to the village. The pastor did the prayers. They cut down that tree. And the man came back to Abuja. Business did not get better. After less than a year, the business collapsed totally. So when this man was making his complaint on Sunday, right next to me, that was the image that came to my mind. So there are still people who believe that the reason their business is not doing well is because of an altar. Maybe true, maybe not. But there is one thing I know and I want to share with us today. One thing. How will your business not slow down when the economy is bad? You know, they hear say the economy is bad. The economy under Tinubu is bad. Or is it that we forget about the true meaning of the economy is bad because we are trying to get personal solutions for collective problem? And that's the definition of selfishness. Wickedness and pure evil is when you commandeer collective good for private gain. That is embezzlement, that is corruption. That's what our leaders are doing. But we, the people, We are also guilty of selfishness. We pursue personal solutions for a collective problem. Is it because of that we forget what the true meaning of the economy is bad? Tinubu's policies are causing us pain. When we make this statement, what exactly do you think it means? Your business is slowing down and you believe one pastor that told you, one imam that told you, one babalawo that told you that the reason your business is slowing down is because of one altar in your village people, one witch, one wizard. You believe them? How or why will your business not slow down when the purchasing power of people has been reduced? They don't get money to buy. Business will slow down. So the only witch, the only wizard, the only altar from your village that you need to deal with is Tinubu and his cohorts that reside in Aso Rock. Yes, you heard it. Tinubu is the reason your business is not moving. Tinubu. How? Through his policies. When Tinubu devalued the Naira, he says he made a lot of money. He unified the FX window. He's now giving money to governors. But is that money getting to the people? The answer is no. That's one. Two, when he devalued the Naira, it costs a lot more to import things into Nigeria. Meanwhile, the salaries of the people, the income, the earning power of the people, did it increase? No. So what happened? Inflation. And so people's purchasing power will do what? It will go down. When people's purchasing power goes down, they cannot buy. You that is selling, your business will slow down. It is not a witch that caused it. It's not a wizard that caused it. It is Tinubu. Many of you don't know this. You feel like, and there are so many of them, I met them in Apo Mechanic Village. You see mechanics, you see plumbers, you see panel beaters. They just believe that they should vote along religious lines, that Nigeria cannot spoil to the extent that they will not get what to eat. They believe that all they just need to do, because they sell, all they need to do is add whatever cost on the price of their goods and services. That's what they think. But they forget that if your price is too high and the person who wants to buy does not have the enablement to buy, you don't have a willing buyer, business will slow down. Is that not what people are experiencing now? So if you're listening to the sound of my voice and your business is slowing down, it is not a witch that is responsible. It is not a wizard. It is not demons or altars from your father's house or your village people. It is Tinubu. And no amount of prayer you make will change it. There's only one course of action that you can take. Only one. And that course of action is to vote out Tinubu in 2027. There are many reasons to vote out Tinubu. Chief amongst them is, or number one reason is, so that your business can grow. Tinubu is not allowing individual businesses to grow. His policies are choking individual businesses. Forget all those talk when he said, oh, let the poor breathe, don't suffocate them. That is his real intention, to choke you, to suffocate you. And exactly that is what his policies are doing to you. Unfortunately, you think it is the devil that is doing you. Not be devil, oh. Not be your neighbor juju o, na Tinubu and his policies. Unfortunately, he is happy because when we get distracted and we focus our energy on the devil, and so we go to God to pray in church, in mosque, we go to Babalawo shrine to seek solutions to the problem that Tinubu caused. When we do this, Tinubu is happy because he knows he will continue to get away with the evil his policies is causing for Nigeria. He knows. So if you like, pray from now till Jesus Christ comes back. Your business will not improve until you get your PVC and you refuse to sell your vote and you vote out Tinubu in 2027. That is the only way that Nigeria will be better for all of us and your business can boom. The winch way they hold your business now, Tinubu and his policies. I just wanted to clear that. Another thing that you must realize in this Nigeria that we are in today is what Kwankwanso is already realizing. You know what they say, and Very Dark Man has made this very popular. Don't play, or you're going to learn, or you will learn the hard way. Kwankwanso is already learning the hard way. He's learning the hard way. When we said support Peter Obi, he had this God complex. And then he forgot one very important rule that no Nigerian politician should break. Very important rule. What is that rule? You cannot support Tinubu without looking stupid. Kwankwanso forgot it. Kwankwanso also forgot that if you not bow for God, you go bow for devil. Because you must bow. We say support Peter Obi, you say no. Say na APC, na Tinubu you want go join. Now, see wetin Ganduje do you. See wetin Ganduje do you. If I were you, listening to what Ganduje said, I will never go near anything called APC in my life. If I were you. But of course, they say politicians, they not get shame. What did Ganduje do to Kwankwanso? Kwankwanso started by giving condition to APC for him to return so he can support Tinubu, breaking the golden rule. Support Tinubu and make yourself stupid. He broke it. No problem. Normally, when people want to defect to APC, the APC in the state or in the local government, they are usually excited. But is that what happened in the case of Kwankwanso? No. Ganduje took his time to thoroughly wash Kwankwanso. He said all manner of things. I hope Kwankwanso has learnt his lesson. If he hasn't, somebody close to him should tell him, you cannot support Tinubu without looking stupid. And we cannot save Nigeria from Tinubu with only talk. No. Electoral reform is not sufficient to stop Tinubu. And don't get me wrong, electoral reforms, very good. But is this sufficient to remove Tinubu? Simple answer, no. What can remove Tinubu? Free and fair elections. And then somebody is asking, is electoral reform not supposed to guarantee free and fair elections? Then I'll ask you a question. Do you think that, first, the National Assembly led by Akpabio will give you electoral reform on a platter of gold? Or that Tinubu will assent to it so it becomes law on a platter of gold? Or that even after you get the electoral reform by amending the Electoral Act to include mandatory electronic transmission, collation, and presentation of results, do you think that INEC will be left alone to conduct free and fair elections? Do you think they have run out of glitches or out of types of glitches? If you think so, I'll ask you to think again. Any solution, and I repeat it, that relies on the National Assembly, that relies on Tinubu, that relies on INEC to implement that solution is dead on arrival. Only a people-powered solution will fix Nigeria. And that people-powered solution is votewatch.pro.